All right. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming. Happy New Year. Today is January 5th, the 5 o'clock regular Board of Trustees meeting.
Call the roll. Mr. Genowine.
Here.
Mr. Crandall.
Here.
Mr. Mahoney.
Here.
Simcoe. Here.
Stand for the roll, please. Or Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Did we have, I guess, we're talking about the reorganization now, John? Is that?
Yes,
Okay.
Mr. Simcoe actually will handle running the meeting until the board is reorganized.
Wow.
You can call it. You
My
can
moment
call
the
it.
sun. Moment the sun.
You can call it to order. But then
This could take a long time here. Well, as we reorganize the board, we need to have a chairman and a vice chairman, and so what I do is call for. Is there anyone nominate someone for chairman of the board?
Can we have a discussion on this? Is that okay?
Yes, sure.
I think what you said last year, I thought was a good idea, just rotating. So we move John.
it's okay with me.
Is it okay with you, John? We could just keep moving, then next year you'll be the chairman. Just keep rotating it through.
You've done it the first year. You did it the second year.
I don't care.
So
However you guys want to do it.
I'll be glad
I
to
think
take
that's
my
fair for
turn.
everybody.
Sure.
Is that cool with you, John?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that then.
Right, then Mr. Mahoney nominates Mr. Crandall. Are there any other nominations? Seeing none, all those in favor, I guess we vote on it then. Mr. Crandall is chairman. Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
And then we need, can someone be nominated?
I'll nominate
for
John
vice chairman?
Genowine as vice chairman.
Are there any other nominations?
Second that.
Are there any
Are you
other
okay with
nominations for vice chairman? Seeing none, I'll call the roll. Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Hen.
So am I out now?
You're
Yes.
out? Very good.
I never touched this all year. I thought maybe do it tonight just to. There you go,
Close
John.
your tenure.
You run it.
I think I do remember you touching that. But, okay.
Well,
I would like to
Why don't we just stay where we're sitting?
congratulate Neil on a very successful year and
Thanks.
keeping things in control, and you were a great leader for the
Well, you're nice. Thank you so much.
Well, and you're
Appreciate
out
it.
next year. You deserve it.
Thanks.
all right, well, Mr. Crandall, I guess you take over here. So next on the agenda is?
Approval of minutes for our regular meeting on December 15th.
Make a motion, or you. Sorry, I'm so used to being the chairman.
Hard to give it up.
What did you say? Okay, so we need to. What do we need to do here?
I'll move approval.
Okay, second.
Okay, let's see, that was Mr. Mahoney and Mr. Crandall. Call the roll, Mr. Genowine.
I'm going to abstain. I missed that meeting due to that traffic jam on 75. So,
Okay, abstain from
Yes.
Mr. Genowine. Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Next thing is to set our meeting schedule for 2016. Right now, we meet at 5 o'clock in the first meeting of the month and the second meeting of the month at 6 o'clock. On Tuesdays. What's the board, yeah. what's
first
the
and
board?
third.
First and third.
I still haven't gotten used to the 5 o'clock time. I will say that. I did have concerns the previous year of people saying that 4 o'clock is very difficult for the citizens to get here, but I think we see the majority of our meetings are fairly poorly attended. So I don't know if it makes that much difference.
What do you want to do? I don't care.
I don't think the 4 o'clock, when we did that, I don't think we had more people.
I don't think
My confusion is every month my wife says, well, is it 5 or 6 o'clock?
I think
So
a few
I-
times all of us showed up at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. I don't care. What do you guys want to do?
Could we keep just one time for both meetings? What do you guys think?
Sure.
I don't think by having 5 o'clock we're getting any more people than we have at 6. It depends on what's on the agenda,
Yeah.
in my view.
Yeah.
So I think it would be good to set the same time is what I'm thinking about. I'm open to 5 or 6 or 5:30, but I think it gets confusing when we have two different times.
And I think we did have it for mostly the staff here for their.
I hear them saying 5. I think. The staff votes for 5.
4.
I'm okay.
The staff votes for 4.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah.
Yes?
I think, I don't know that I agree with that. I think that makes it hard on somebody working, myself. What do you think?
I'm wide open. I mean, selfishly for John and your grandkids, I think, it's hard to make these sports. I'm missing sports all the time with my kids. So, I mean,
What would be a good time for you?
I'm missing them no matter what.
Doesn't
You guys,
matter.
whatever, think about Boy Scouts for next year, John.
I do have Boy Scouts that start at.
What time's that start at?
6:30.
Okay, then let's do 5:30. What do you think?
Oh, 5.
5 o'clock
Yeah,
for both
5.
nights.
Okay,
Both nights.
That'd be good.
great.
And then I'd like to, Susan, I think what we need to say is also is if a regular scheduled meeting falls on an election on Tuesdays, we automatically move it to the Wednesday.
Are you okay with 5 o'clock, Dave?
Yeah.
Yourself?
Oh, yeah, I'm very good at that.
Everybody okay with that?
Yep.
Okay.
You'll follow up. Do you need a motion on that?
Yeah, let's vote on that.
I'll offer a motion changing the meeting times to 5 o'clock on the first and third Tuesday of the month.
Second.
And on an election day, the following day.
Right.
Second.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Okay, the next resolution on the agenda is establish board appointments. That's for the things that the trustees handle.
Do you all have your list?
I'm looking for mine.
Got all the applications, but not the list that has them all.
Maybe Susan, you could go through.
At this point, this resolution is just to really appoint we're not talking about the zoning commission at this point.
Yeah, we're just talking about the trustees.
Right.
Could you go through the list and we'll,
Sure.
'cause I didn't bring mine, I guess.
Sajard, we need to appoint someone to Sajard for a 3-year term. Rick Bond's term is expired at the end of 2015.
Excuse me, but right now, aren't we doing the trustee positions?
Well, this is all part of that same resolution.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll move that we reappoint Rick Bond to the Sajard Board. I've served on there for 2 years with Rick. He's got a great background. And we have a trustee plus 3 appointments. The other 2 appointments, John served 1 year and Ted served 2 years. So our positions on that board are fairly new. 2 of us for 2 years and 1 for 1 year. And I think Rick Bond until there's a pending lawsuit there. I'd like to see Rick stay. He's got a good background. The lawsuit started before the involvement of any of our township appointments.
Okay, so I don't really need a motion at this point. We're just going down through the list, and we'll get the list, and then we'll do a motion to pass a resolution for all of those, okay?
Okay.
So
I'd like
if
to
there's
see it.
any objection to Rick Bond? All in agreement? Okay. We need a trustee appointment to Sajard as well, a 1-year term.
I'll be happy to continue that, but if you, Neil, or you, I'm fine with that.
Okay. SCAT. We need a trustee on the SCAT board.
And I took that over from Neil this year, and I'm okay with it. I will say it's a lot of meetings. I don't make them all, but the chief knows. It is a lot of meetings. But I'll be happy to continue, or if either one of you two would like to take that, it's fine.
Okay. TMACOG. John
I have-
Crandall currently serves on that.
And once again, I'm okay with any of these, unless either one of you two would like to jump in there, that would be fine.
Neil, you were active in TMACOG. Do you want
I
to
was.
go back with that? Or,
Sure, whatever. I mean, it's still part of the DIC. If somebody wants to try that too, I'd be more than happy to. TMACOG's fine.
DIC, what?
That's the for the funding for roads. That's coming up.
Okay.
Yeah.
OPWC.
For the work. Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
I'd love to do it. No problem.
I wasn't forcing you. I was just asking.
all good.
You seem to be more connected downtown Toledo than.
Neil, he owes you one now.
Okay, Sylvania CIC. Currently, we have John Crandall and Dave Simcoe. No, excuse me, Neil Mahoney serving on that.
No, it's Neil and Scott Smith, our appointments. We're all members, but our two
I
rep,
thought you said Dave Simcoe moved down to, he couldn't be on as a board member.
yeah, the top two, Neil and Scott Smith, are our two appointments.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm fine staying on it if you guys are fine with it. Doesn't matter.
I'm
So Scott and Neil.
I just need to show up for the 7:00 meeting in the morning.
7:30.
7:30.
And then John Crandall and John Zeitler stay on as just a member. Okay.
And Dave Simcoe.
And Dave Simcoe, correct.
And John, I don't know.
And Barron.
Interested. Last year you said you'd rather not.
I do try to make a few meetings, and I'll
It's
do
no
the
big
same.
deal to
Yeah,
have you.
I would. Yeah, there are some issues I hope they tackle this year, and I'll be happy to come to the meetings and share my opinions.
Good.
Okay, Sylvania Community Services Center. Currently, we have David Simcoe serving.
You comfortable with that?
I'll do it unless someone else wants to do it,
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Mr. Simcoe, thank you.
Okay, last year on Enterprise Zone Negotiating Team, I don't think we appointed anyone. I don't know whether it's necessary to do that. I think
We don't have an enterprise anyways.
Okay.
so.
Tax Incentive Review Council. Currently, we have John Zeitler and Scott Smith.
We don't have a tax incentive review board, do we?
Yeah, there's one, we don't have it, but the county has one.
Oh,
Each
okay.
jurisdiction is eligible to have
Sure.
one.
Whatever. Yeah.
Scott and I will continue to do that.
Great.
Lucas County EMS Advisory Board. Currently serving as John Genowine and Chief Kowalski.
Great.
Chief, will that be a little more involved now that we're getting into the transport business, or?
Not really that much, Mr. Genowine, but there is a meeting tomorrow morning. The advisory board, I can send you when it comes up, I'll send you the invites
What time is tomorrow's meeting?
9 o'clock. I'm sorry, 8:30.
Where is that?
Downtown at the EMA building, 3rd floor. Let me check my calendar and make sure I'm not telling you something. I'm pretty sure it's 8:30.
That's what I am.
8:30. EMA building down on Monroe Street. 911 building.
Okay, I know where that's at.
Okay. Speaking of 911, we have Chief Kowalski and Neil Mahoney serving on that.
I can take that one over with the EMS board.
Okay.
The Health District Council automatically is the chairman of the board, so Mr. Crandall, you'd have to serve on that.
What, does that meet a lot? Or?
No, not really.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
The Township Investment Committee. I know you've rotated that in the past, but currently it's Mr. Crandall.
Would you be willing to do that, Jeff?
I'll do it.
Because I followed you, so,
Just keep her.
yeah, maybe we rotate that one too.
And the last one, Sylvania Area Family Services, I just wanted to check. Did you?
I didn't get a chance to get with Anita today.
Okay.
Either Chief Carroll or I will.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Chief.
Okay, that's all on that list. So that would be, if it's all acceptable, someone needs to make a motion and second Resolution 16002.
I'll offer Resolution 16-002, appointments to board as listed or posted or however you want to,
It'll be an attachment.
as attached.
Second.
Call the roll. Mr. Genowine.
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney.
Yes.
Mr. Crandall.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I will notify the different boards if there was a change.
Next. Go ahead.
Okay, next item is the establishment of the vehicle mileage reimbursement rate for 2016. As past practice, we follow the IRS rules, and this year for 2016, it's 0.54 cents, or 54 cents a mile.
Offer resolution 1603 establishing vehicle mileage rate for 16.
Second.
Mr. Mahoney.
Yes.
Mr. Crandall.
Yes.
Mr. Genowine.
Yes.
Next item is additions or deletions to the agenda. Are there any signed in there? Anything?
I have none.
Okay, let's move. Thank you. Hearing of the public,
Nobody signed in. So.
okay. Zoning Department, Darrell?
Good evening. I have two resolutions for appointments to the zoning boards. If I may, I'd like to do the second one first. It's probably going to be the simpler of the two. It's Resolution 16010, appointment to Board of Zoning Appeals. We have one term that expired the end of December. That is Don Miller's term, and he has expressed a desire to return to the board to be reappointed. And then also the alternate member's term, that's a one-year term. That expired at the end of the year, and that is Amanda Seek, and she has also expressed a desire to be reappointed. And then we have other applicants as well.
I'll offer resolution 16010, approve appointments to the Board of Zoning Appeals.
Second.
Did we decide who they were going to be? Or?
Oh, Don Miller and Amanda, those are the only two we got, right?
No, there are other.
Oh, you're right,
other
Joe
applicants.
Belinsky and,
Those are the incumbents.
Oh, okay, sorry.
We also had
Mike
three
Ducey.
others.
Mike Cott had expressed interest.
That's for the zoning commission, though, right?
Right, that was
No,
zoning.
he had both.
He had both, or
Oh.
he told me he had both.
Okay, got
He
it.
only got one copy, but he did say either one.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yes, Michael Cott asked for either one.
Well, in the way of discussion, Don jumped in and finished the term. He's been there about a year and a half. My understanding he's been doing a good job, so. I know we put in the paper that there could be possible openings, but I think Don helped us out by jumping in there. And
Amanda Seek's been, she's been an
around a
alternate
long
for years,
time.
yeah. Probably need to get her moved up someday, too, so. I don't have a problem with either one of them.
I don't either.
Okay.
You have a motion then?
I'll make the motion for Miller and Sheik.
Second.
Second.
Mr. Mahoney. Call the roll. Mr. Crandall.
Yes.
Mr. Genowine.
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney.
Yes.
Thank you. And then I have Resolution 16009, approve appointments to Zoning Commission. We have two openings on the board. Mr. Epstein's term was up at the end of the year, and he does not wish to re-up. And then we still have the remainder of Mr. Casper's term. As you remember, Mr. Casper unfortunately passed away earlier in the year. And then we also have the alternate, which is the one-year term. And Bob Sabo has been the alternate for about 4 years now, 3 or 4 years. He has expressed an interest to be moved up to a full-term member. Then the other two candidates we have are Michael Cott and Tom Eisel.
I think we also have Joe Belinsky.
That was for BZA.
Yeah, but I think he called and said either one. That's
I had him
as
on
of
there.
that's as of today, Darrell. So nobody probably got you on that.
I'd like to see Mike on the zoning commission.
Yep.
He's been trying to get involved in the community for quite a few years, and I think this would be a good fit for his experience and things. I know Joe pretty well too. He's a good guy, but I'm open to whoever you guys.
I think Mike would be a good guy, no question. What about? Hold on a second. Not to discount Tom Eisel, because I'm not. I did like Mike Ducey's resume, but he called it and canceled because he's got, with our land use plan that we got coming up, it may not be a bad idea having Joe as an alternate possibly, or to have SIBO move up, or have Joe as an alternate.
I'd like to see us move Bob up.
We're going to need somebody to help with some thought about what we're doing with this land use plan. And I'd like to find some people that kind of get it. I'm not saying Tom doesn't, by the way,
Yeah.
by any means.
So it looks like we would move Zabel up, and Cott would be appointment, and then maybe Belinsky as an alternate. How does that strike you?
That sounds good to me.
Okay.
Great.
I'll make that motion.
Excuse me, which, we have the full term that's beginning, and then we have the remainder of Mr. Casper's term.
Oh,
I think we probably have to specify who would
What is
be.
a full term on the zoning commission?
5 years.
5 years.
BZA is also 5 years.
I would say we'd move Zabel up to the Epstein position, and then Cott to finish the term. Is that what you're suggesting, Darrell?
Yeah, that would be fine.
And then Belinsky as the alternate. Okay, I'll amend my motion to do that.
Second.
Call the roll, Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Before Darrell leaves, I think we maybe should update the board on the land use plan. We talked about getting proposals, and we met with the zoning board chairman and vice chairman, Mary Hemmeline and John King. They both thought that our land use plan needs some work. So then we did put a call into the city to see if they were thinking about updating theirs, and they are. Several land use plans have been joint efforts between the city and township, which is especially important along the borders to try to reduce conflicts between land use. So,
Are they updating their land use plan or our land use
no,
plan?
theirs. No, we would still keep it city and township.
Yeah, we're trying to.
Yeah. Are you trying to maximize the dollar value? Is that what?
Well,
it
I'm
is?
not sure
Oh,
yet.
okay.
I'm just trying to keep you,
I think Pogemeyer designed it theirs years ago, just like who we used.
yeah. But I'm just keeping you appraised
Oh,
of
okay.
where we're at. So I'm going to work on a scope of work so that we can get proposals for the board with the help of Darrell and John Zeigler. It might take us a few weeks to put that together. And then I'd like to see us put ours together and then go to the city and say, here's what we're thinking of doing. If you want to be a part of it, fine. By a part of it, I think their hours would be the same consultant, but their hours they would pay for and our hours.
Do you think there's any way we can tie in the CIC to that as well and possibly get funding out of that and things? Because as we all know, there's a lot of issues that are going on between the city and township, and I think the CIC is a good platform to kind of resolve those or at least avoid conflict in the future. And having John and Bill Sanford on leading that charge, I just was throwing that out there. I
Are
don't
you
know.
looking for financial help?
That mostly, I would think, yeah.
Let's, if you don't mind, we'll keep that in mind, and when we come back, our intent right now is to get 3 or 4 proposals and bring them to you to make a decision.
Okay.
And that would include the city. And we could include the CIC as a funding source, or maybe coordination
Yeah.
with, what would you say, maybe a tax-based effort. We both have the same problem as far as tax base goes. So, yeah, I think that would be a good suggestion, and we'll follow up with that. I just wanted the board to be aware that
Okay.
we are moving forward on that.
Thanks, Eric.
Thank you, Daryl.
Rob, you're up.
Good evening. I've submitted the monthly report for December, on page 1 there. Most of the work during December was still during the leaf pickup cycles. Due to the mild weather, we were able to complete additional cycles through the township. We just felt the leaves kept coming out, so it was worth the effort to continue the cycles through. As you can see, the number of truckloads, this is our in-house crews only. This does not include the contractors' loads. Some additional work was preparing for the snow and ice control events that have not really occurred as to the date. Switching equipment, inspecting, and storing leaf equipment. Assembling the brine stations and that equipment. We have tested and conducted all of those equipment, and we are prepared for winter events. We did have 2 burials in December, which was unusual in the month of December. And we did have a slight storm damage cleanup from that high winds, December 28. It wasn't a scheduled brush pickup or anything like that, but we did get lots of call-outs that evening to assist for downed trees, and that continued on into the next day. Provided some driver training for the upcoming winter routes. Some of the new drivers getting out and seeing their routes and driving the equipment with the actual pieces that they'll be using during the snow and ice control events. And then our service department assisted us in a lot of those areas where we were tearing down and rebuilding vehicles and systems, and provided additional repairs for other agencies, other departments. You can see on page 2, it was the 2015, some of the major projects that were completed. If you want to review that briefly, but I will have in item 9 the infrastructure report for 2015, and we could cover that in more detail then. Without any other questions, that would be the monthly report.
I know the leaf pickup was somewhat challenging with the way the weather came around, but I thought you guys did a great job, and I've gotten several compliments, so
Thank you.
good job to everybody.
The contractors performed well, and I think the crews, a lot due to the weather, stepped up too, and put a good effort forward. We had good temporary employees this year as well, so it all came together.
Nice.
Nice job.
The next item is a resolution number 16005 to accept roadways into the township maintenance system. Lucas County Engineers recommends to accept these as they've been all improved new roads into the system.
I'll move resolution 16005, accepting roadways onto the county, or township maintenance system.
Second?
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Thank you. Item 9, it is the infrastructure repair report for 2015. There's multiple pages. We'd like to just focus on that first page. If you want to review some of the details, exact locations, addresses, and some other specific details, they are available for you in that document. But as you can see, generally we do about 100 catch basins a year in that vicinity somewhere, so we're on target. Those include repairs to rebuilds, basically from tile up. We have completed 3,877 linear feet of curb work. Just as a reference, 5,280 feet's a mile. So significant concrete curb work. A lot of that is in preparation for resurfacing and just minor repairs or faulty groundwork that was underneath the concrete that needed repaired. Some of the storm sewer replacement or extensions, as you can see, almost reached a mile in length. That was some of the heavy lifting this year. We did quite a few projects as far as the storm sewer was concerned. Some of those projects, a good majority of them, were refunded through Lucas County Stormwater District. So it was advantageous. We took advantage of that. Resurfaced 2.4 miles. That's been the average over the last couple years, somewhere in that vicinity. Next year, I've scheduled to attain the 4-mile mark. I'm working with John Crandall, and before Mr. Huffman left me, we're putting together a road diagnostic information to compile to see where the repairs would be needed in what locations, and basically a priority list by area, by miles and lane, and so we're working on that, compiling that, and we use that to determine what roads, what the priority level for the road or the resurfacing of the road, if it requires milling and resurfacing, or potentially just repairs of crack sealing, emulsified patch, or a micro seal. So those have been identified, and Mr. Crandall is aware of what's going on with those.
Rob, I'd just like to note on there that if you look back to 2005, we were doing 6.6 miles a year. That's resurfacing. And last year we hit 2.4. So at first you look at that and think, gee, we're doing less. But the report that Greg did shows that our pavement conditions are really pretty good for the township. So it does make sense to back off. If the work doesn't need it, you don't need to do it. So what we haven't done yet, the condition ratings Greg did on pavement surface, we'll be bringing that back to you. What Rob's doing now is projecting the next 5 years, what we would be looking at and what the budget numbers would be. I would say right now, from what we know, it looks pretty good.
When the pavement conditioning report is complete, we'll present it to the board and give a 5-year projection. It's a projection and estimate that those roads change year to year based on condition, weather patterns, and everything else. So it is just a guide to use to identify those areas and a potential cost for a 5-year projection on resurfacing.
Mr. Huffman's time as a part-time employee is coming to an end at the end of this month or February, or
He's complete December 31st.
Okay.
Yes. So he, between him and I, we put the pavement conditioning report together based off of information gathered from Lucas County Engineer's Office and through hands-on going out and doing inspections. Some of the analysis in that report, will fluctuate greatly on fuel costs and stuff like that. So, as you can see, the rest of the report, if you want to review the rest of the report, there is detailed information in there. Other than that, I have nothing further.
Thanks, Rob.
One thing I'd like to add is that it looks like our Christmas tree drop-off program is very successful this year. It's being filled up every day with trees. I come in the morning and it's just packed with trees. So people are using it, and it's an easy way to get rid of your tree. I always have a little contest the day after Christmas how many trees were there, and there was 10. So people don't wait around. But It's filling up regularly, and Greg's staff is doing a good job keeping it emptied.
Rob's, yeah.
I'm sorry, Greg.
How do we,
Greg, for all I know, Greg is in Florida right now.
how do we dispose of those? Do we grind them or?
Rob?
We'll load them up with the tractor, the front loader bucket, and take them down to Cleanwood Recycling, where we're contracted to take our brush. If there's a few in there before the weekend, we'll just chip them up. We have our chipper and truck available, but generally, over the last couple of weeks, or last week or two, it's been filling up. We've just been hauling them out with their truck.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks. Fire Department?
Good evening. I have before you two resolutions. Resolution 16-006 is authorized to allow the fire chief to establish a transport unit. Again, this is just a unit that would go in, service, and augment the private companies that provide service to us in our area.
I'll offer resolution 16-006, authorized to allow the fire chief to establish a transport unit.
Second?
Call the roll, Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
The second resolution is 16-012, authorizing the fire chief to hire part-time firefighter EMTs or / paramedics. Our part-time status is down to 3, so we need to beef up those ranks to help augment our daily staffing levels.
I'll offer resolution 16012, fire chief to hire part-time firefighter EMTs.
Second?
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
We have nothing else? That's
Chief,
it.
Thanks,
refresh
Chief.
my
Thank you.
memory. Are you going to 8 or 10?
I'm sorry?
8 or 10 part-time?
We'll have 8.
That's
We'll hire 5. We'll maintain 8. And again, what we did is we went through the year to see what the staffing levels were and to make sure that we can give those part-timers enough hours to keep them interested in,
Yep.
but yet not too many that would put them over the 15.
I remember the discussion, I
Yeah.
just forgot.
Okay.
Thank you.
They can only work 1,500 hours a year.
Yes,
Keep them in there.
thank you.
Thank you.
Hey. Chief Bomey, do you have anything for the
I
trustees?
have nothing.
The trustees have anything for Chief Bomey? Okay, next up is Administrator, and my first one is the Resolution 16004, authorizing funding for 2016. I think this will be more or less just a discussion if you want, or you can make a determination.
We didn't get an application, as I understand it, from the Arts Commission yet, so I think,
One just came in today, I thought.
yeah, when, we just received Family Services today.
Yeah, I'd like to do the same, just,
I think we
Get
could
it,
do
yeah.
this the next meeting.
Yeah.
though, don't
Okay, we'll just put it on for the next meeting.
And John, I talked last year about a spreadsheet, maybe you and I could
Yeah, we'll have,
get together and give the board a comparison.
we'll have that updated.
Okay.
Next item on the agenda is the Resolution 16007, intent to sell property by internet auction. The Ohio Revised Code allows us to sell surplus property on the internet, and this there is a company out there, GovDeals Incorporated, that provides the means to get the stuff on the internet, take the bids, and notify the person of the successful bid. So this would be a agreement with GovDeals Inc. to provide the internet service for selling of surplus equipment.
What are we disposing of or getting rid of?
This is just a blanket for the year. We always bring it to you, like if we have a car or whatever to get rid of, but this
It's a
authorizes us.
housekeeping item, my understanding.
Yeah, at this point, we're not.
I'll offer resolution 16007 to sell property by internet auction.
Second.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
And then this one is Resolution 16-008, and it's authorized myself to enter into a contract with Mike Jones for public information services. This is a one-year contract with the same terms and conditions that previously we've been for the last couple of years.
I'll offer resolution 16008 to enter a contract with Mike Jones.
Second.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
And then I'd like to delete Resolution 16-001. That actually was taken care of in the previous resolution earlier. We doubled up on that one. So that's all I have then.
Fiscal officer, you have
I've
anything?
already had my moment in the sun.
Wow.
I have nothing else to add. Thank you.
And,
Usually you have about 6 resolutions.
Not tonight.
Yeah.
and once again, nobody signed in for non-agenda items from the public.
Okay. Is there any hearing, any of the public want to talk about non-agenda items?
Nobody signed up.
No. Oh, okay.
Tomorrow's the chamber luncheon, State of the Union. If you guys are really bored,
So, you're
Keep
going
it
to be
brief,
there.
Neil, keep it brief.
that's going to be real brief. I'm going to take. That's what you were good at last year. I was taking notes. Okay.
Time, treasure, and talent.
There you go.
Have a motion to adjournment?
Yes, could we have
Mr.
that?
Crandall. Oh,
Oh, I'll move adjournment, sure.
Mr. Mahoney?
Second.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes,
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Oh,
5:42.
5:42. Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
We are adjourned.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
And remember, the next meeting will be 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
I will update
What?
my calendars.
All right. See you guys. Have a good night, everybody.